In the small town of Michoacan, Mexico, whispers of fear and dread filled the air. The ruthless Mexican cartel that held power over the region had struck again, leaving behind a trail of death and destruction. It was a day that would be forever etched into the minds of those who witnessed the horror unfold. It all began with a group of college students who had gone missing while on a hiking trip in the mountains near the town. Their disappearance had sent shockwaves through the community as parents frantically searched for their missing children and the police scrambled to find any clues that would lead them to the missing students. Days turned into weeks, and hope began to fade as the reality of the situation set in. And then, one fateful day, the truth was revealed in all its gruesome detail. A mass grave containing the bodies of the missing students was unearthed in the mountains, a grim reminder of the brutal power wielded by the cartel. The news spread like wildfire, sending a wave of terror through the town. People whispered in hushed tones, afraid to speak out against the cartel for fear of retribution. The streets were eerily quiet, as if the very town itself was mourning the loss of the innocent lives that had been taken so brutally. As the investigation into the massacre unfolded, more details emerged that sent chills down the spines of those who heard them. The students had been tortured and killed in the most gruesome ways imaginable, their bodies dumped unceremoniously into the mass grave like discarded trash. The cartel's message was clear. They held the power, and they would stop at nothing to maintain their grip over the town and its people. The fear that gripped the town was palpable, a constant reminder of the terror that lurked just beneath the surface. But amidst the horror and despair, there were those who refused to cower in fear. A group of brave individuals banded together, determined to stand up against the cartel and bring justice to the victims of the massacre. Their efforts were met with resistance and threats from the cartel, but they refused to back down. They worked tirelessly to gather evidence and build a case against the criminals who had committed such unspeakable acts, knowing that their lives were on the line with every step they took. In the end, their efforts paid off. The leaders of the cartel were brought to justice, and the town was finally able to begin the long process of healing and rebuilding in the wake of the tragedy. But the memory of that dark day would always linger, a reminder of the horrors that had taken place and the bravery of those who had stood up against them. The town of Michoacan would never be the same, but through the darkness, a glimmer of hope shone through, a hope for a better, brighter future free from the tyranny of the cartel.